Hello, welcome to the last video of the year. I am recording this on a cold winter morning when I have the house all to myself. I'm still in my jammies. Trying to make that a tradition. So usually I've done like top 5 spirits of the year. This year I reviewed so many damn things that I liked so much that I had to do a top 10. Plus we're gonna do honorable mentions and honorable disqualifieds because this video is really about things that are not only just good and good values, but also just feel kind of momentous. And some stuff just doesn't fit the rules that I established. Like it has to have been released in the last couple of years. It has to have a batch of at least a couple of hundred bottles. So it's kind of out there. Anyways, yeah, this was a hell of a year. I reviewed, well, aside from many changes in my life, I reviewed a ton of really good stuff. And not to mention, I started a Patreon account for the first time, which I was very nervous about because I thought I didn't have time for it. And I was right. I really don't have time to do a full-fledged Patreon account. But my patrons have hung around with me anyways. Even as I post little previews of upcoming content, and that's kind of about it. I'll try to figure out what more to do with the Patreon page soon. But thank you. You have no idea how much of a weight it takes off my shoulders just to be able to have a little bit of extra money to buy spirits like this every month. So thank you to all of you out there on the Patreon. All right. Enough about babbling, let's get this started. I am enjoying a glass of my number one. Ooh, what could that be? Is it a mezcal? Is it a rum? Oh God, that's good. Okay, let's run through this. First, my honorable disqualifieds. Let me pull up my list here. My printer's still broken, so I did not print this out. All right, the honorable disqualifieds, things which either have been out for a while, kind of as either a regular range or some release that came out a few years ago, or there was just too small a batch. And the first among these has to be the Clear Creek 69% pear brandy for the aficionados group. There was only maybe 60 or 70 bottles of this, but oh my God. This is not only a phenomenal bottle of brandy, it also just kind of feels like an event. This feels like something that people are going to be passing around to close friends and industry nerds for the next couple of years to just open up eyes. Like this, here is proof of what eau de vies, and particularly American eau de vies, can do if you give them proper presentation. And in particular, like just stonking high strength. I love this bottle. I only got one, and I'm going to be very sad when I run out. Great stuff. Second, honorable disqualified. This one was too old, but great rum. This is the La Perle Brute 2018 from A1710, which is a relatively new distillery in Martinique. They can't really call themselves a Martinician rum because they pod distill, which is against the AOC. But I love this stuff. It's very grungy and aromatic. It's not, we're not getting into Claren territory. It's much cleaner than that. But for a relatively mainstream agricole rum, this is fun stuff. All right, next honorable disqualified. This is one that shocked me. Empyrean Quince brandy. I don't know if all Quince brandies are this good. I'm trying to find some more, but this one was awesome. I do not know who the Empyrean folks are. Apparently they're from Serbia. But yeah, this rocked my socks. I gave this what did I give this? I gave this an 86. This beat out the likes of like Mate and other like big name eau de vie producers. So yeah, and it's cheap too. It's like I think I got it for like $30, something like that. All right. Second to last, honorable disqualified of the year, Glengarry. 12-year-old. This is a normal release. They've been doing this for years, so I can't. It feels wrong to throw it in the official list, but oh my god. If you have any sort of access to European retailers, you can get this bottle for 30, well, no, like 40, 45-ish euros. And it is phenomenal. This is the best single malt scotch I have had in that price range in a long time. Really, really good. Like, this is, and it's, so Glengarry has really kind of become my most watched Scotch distillery, because even though they're under the Beam Suntory label, for some reason they seem to be getting like really, really good presentation and a lot of love. Like, they're restarting direct fired stills. They're restarting their maltings. I am really, really excited about the future of Glengarry. Watch these guys. And also, this is not the end of Glengarry on this list. And the last honorable disqualified, Terry Quay, whatever. 12-year-old. This is their cast strength full blanche. I love the entire Terry Quay cast strength full blanche range. This is my particular favorite. The 15 is a little bit more oaky. The 8 is a little bit more fresh. This feels very Goldilocksy. Distribution in the States is sketchy. If it ever makes its way to Chicago, though, it will probably be 60 to 70 bucks. And you can already get this at European retailers. It's really, really well-made Armagnac, bottled at cast strength and presented at a reasonable price point. This is awesome. If this gets around, like, this will convert a lot of people to Armagnac. Let me put it that way. All right, and we're moving on to my honorable mentions. We'll get there. Okay, what are my honorable mentions for the year? The ones that are meet the rules, that I really, really like and I want to talk about, but don't quite make my top 10, even though I've extended it from 5 to 10. All right, here's one. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. This was a pick by Frugal McDougall, and this blew my socks off. This is, I really like most of the Jack Daniel's barrel proofs out there. It's the bottling that made me take Jack Daniel's seriously again. It kind of reminds me of what I wish Forester 1920 was. Just that bomb of cherry and oaky goodness and a little bit of banana funkiness. This one was particularly good, though. Come on, camera, focus. Whatever. It's a sample bottle anyways. The only problem with this is because it is, well, Tennessee whiskey, which is to say bourbon, this was probably all swept up and you will never see it. So, sorry. Anyways, this is really good. And Jack Daniel's barrel proof in general is really good. I have another one I should review one of these days. Tucked away in the back. All right, so that's an honorable mention. What else have we got? Oh, crap. I'm sorry. One more honorable disqualifieds. I don't have time to redo this video. This should be an honorable disqualified. It was tucked away in my my mentions for some reason. Grammy XO brandy from Georgia. This is an honorable disqualified. So this is apparently a long-standing brand. This particular bottling was probably made, I don't know, 5-10 years ago. It's not the best brandy I've had this year by a long shot, but this is $8. You can buy this for $8. If you're Manhattan, it's more like $12, $13. But find me another spirit this good for, $8 to $13. This is awesome stuff. Well, no, it's not awesome stuff. It is awesome value. Grammy XO, very good. Would love to have a stronger version of it, just a better presented version of that. And it's made me curious about, really, really curious about the potential for Georgian brandy. All right, sorry, back to my honorable mentions. Thank you for your patience. I did not prepare well for this. Next honorable mention, Ben Romack, 15. And in particular, this particular batch. It feels... I mean, Ben Romack 15 has been out for a while, but I feel like it's still legal to throw in here if I can name the particular batch and date. This is the, where is it? 29-10-20 batch. So 2020 batch. I love this stuff. Do I wish it was bottled at 46% and marked as unchilled filtered and all that stuff? Yeah, I absolutely do. But this is, if you are a fan of just like old school style scotches, like none of us can actually have the money to try post-war peated Macallan, but if we could, this gives you some idea of what that might taste like. Heavily sherried, oily, Speyside with a little bit of peat on it. Yeah, I love this stuff. This is a great bottle. Ben Romack 15. Next up on my honorable mentions, Zindhumbrecht. Zindhumbrecht Eau de Vie de Vin, 1996. Is this as good as that crazy Mar from 76 that they made? No, but this is an evidence that great brandy in France does not end with Armagnac and Cognac. This is great brandy made in Alsace, probably from Gewürztraminer, I'm not really sure. The only reason it's not higher on this list is it's a bit expensive and it's a pain in the butt to find. But basically, I am basically a buy it now on any Zindhumbrecht spirit that I see. They're just really, really good. All right, moving on. We've got two more in my honorable mentions. Here we go. Sorry, out of order. Tamdhu, batch strength. This is the batch number 4. I talked about I made the Macallan reference when I was talking about Ben Romack, but this one's still more. This one gives you some idea of, what if Macallan wasn't throwing in so many damn, PX casks into their maturation? This is that. This is grungy, herbaceous, oily distillate thrown into hardcore Oloroso barrels, and God, it is such a beast. It's beef bouillon and leather, and oh God, I love this stuff. If you are at all a fan of sherried whiskey and serious, aggressive, not friendly, cerebral sherried whiskey, you absolutely need to buy a bottle of this. Yeah, Tamdhu batch strength from the Speyside. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what the new batches made under new management are going to be like, because they should be coming up to 10 years of age right now. That makes me really excited, that thought. And last honorable mention, it's Barillon. You wouldn't know it from this bottle because it doesn't say Barillon on it anywhere. It just says Claverie. But this is a Barillon 20 years old. This particular one, again, the reason why it's on my list has a bottling date of October 19th, 2021. This is, you can find this in European retailers and in the States, I'm pretty sure, for around 80 bones or so, meaning it's about $10 more than Delord 25. And that's a hell of a deal because this buries Delord 25. If you are looking for an introduction, a sub $100 introduction to really, really serious rustic Armagnac, you could not do better than this. Barillon 20. And now my top 10. What could that be? What am I enjoying right now? All right, let's get into this. Top 10 spirits of 2022. What are we going to start with? What's going to be the number 10? Here's one you probably didn't expect. Old Tub. Old Tub. $25. This is a reminder of what the big American whiskey producers are capable of doing in that sort of $20 to $30 range, where I think they're just really dangerous. I enjoyed the heck out of this. Bottle and bond, unfiltered, and just super old and nutty. It reminds me of like a Booker's that's been turned down about 2 notches, but still maintaining its Bookersness. Yeah, but this is $25 as opposed to whatever the hell Booker's is these days. Really good value. I think I like this more than Turkey 101 these days, which is saying a lot considering how much the esteem I hold Turkey 101 in. What is number 9? Number 9, Mezonte Jalisco from the Virgin family. They're the Six Maguey blend. Almost certainly the most interesting bottle I tried this year. This is wild stuff, and it really makes me curious what else is being made out there in the boonies, like the boonies of Jalisco, but also just like Mexico in general. Like this is a bonkers bottle of agave spirit, because they can't call it mezcal or raicilla or anything like that, because it's just not that area. The area where it's made is not classified. So agave spirit. The only reason this is not higher on the list is because it's a bit expensive, but yeah, I love this bottle. It's completely bonkers, and I love it. All right, what do we got next? Number 8, another Mexican spirit, Uruapan Añejo. All right, so I loved the Uruapan Blanco, the unaged version, and this is just as good. Here's the difference. The world is kind of spoiled right now for really good unaged rum. Like there's just a ton out there, and a lot of it is really good. What it is lacking right now is really good aged rum in the sort of sub $30 category. This is $30, and you get a liter of it, and it's really good. Like you can throw this, you can sit this on the rocks, you can or neat. You can throw it into a Cuba Libre, and it's not going to fight you. This, like its brother, feels like it should be on the rail of every bar in America. That's not going to happen because, there's no justice in the world. But still, that's kind of what it feels like. For $30, I really like this bottle. And again, it's just something you don't really see on the market that much these days. All right, number 7. This is kind of representing a whole group of bottles, but it does deserve a place. Chairman's Reserve, single cask. This is a 15-year-old, entirely pot distilled. It's a blend of their John Doerr and Vendome. All the information will be in the link. But really, this is here to highlight the entire kind of Chairman's Reserve barrel picks range, which I should do. I've got a bunch of samples. I should do a review of, I should review more of these. But basically, if you were in the market for a good rum with a strong pot still component that had a lot of age and oak on it, and Foursquare was too expensive or just unavailable, this was what you wanted. These were all really good releases, and I particularly like this little bottle. It also makes the best Mai Tai I have ever had. All right, number 6, the Lone Palmas Brandy in the lineup, which is a surprise considering how many of them I had last year. Marolo Nives, 13-year-old, Grappa di Barolo. I love this. It's not too expensive, and it's not just complex and deep, for lack of a better word, as you expect Palmas brandies to be. They're just very complex spirits. This is like sessionable. Like you could I wouldn't say pound this, because it's what is this, 50-some% alcohol, 53, almost 54. But could you pop this open for some friends in the evening and just have them enjoy it in a session, you absolutely could. There's a little bit of a learning curve there, but not that much. So yeah, this is absolutely worth my respect, and it gets a place on this top 10 list. All right, sorry, I have to reach around this wall of bottles here. Number 5. Here's the second Glengarry of the video. This is the Renaissance 4th Chapter 18-year-old. The euro has gone up a little bit, but still, there was a time when you used to be able to get this bottle from European retailers for under $100. 18-year-old cask strength, heavily sherried whiskey from a very, very, very good distillery for under $100, which was a screaming value. I think you can still buy this for, the euro price is going to be the same. It's just the exchange rate isn't as good. But yeah, this was my favorite whiskey of the year. Maybe not the absolute best one I had this year, but I haven't seen a value like this for stats or for QPR for like older whiskey in a long time. So if you see any of these still around, grab them. Again, watch Glengarry. I already talked about that. God, how do I did not plan out how I would get the bottles I stashed over here. All right, the number 4, is Holmes K, Jamaica 2007 Sea Diamond H, picked by Rumchester in New York. This, with the exception of my re-review of the absolutely bonkers Zintumbrecht, this was the best spirit I reviewed this year, and it wasn't even that expensive. This is I don't know, $1.50 or something, and it just doesn't feel like a top 5 or a top 10 unless I've got some Hampden in there somewhere. And here it is. Like this is continentally aged Hampden, high ester in all its glory, with a little bit of an oaky halo around it, and it's phenomenal. I think I 93'd this. All right, moving on. This was a surprise for me. Baccarat, 8-year-old from K&L. This is a blend of young 8-year-old Calvados, obviously, and some older stock, but it's all 100% pears. This is a Dom Fronte. And the important thing about this is, first of all, it's really good, and second, it's like under $50. I think the price on this is $45. If you are in California or have access to California retailers, to K&L in some other way, buy this. Go out and grab this. It's peary, it's complex, it's weird. It's got some kind of like Baijiu characters to it, and yeah, this blew me away. I was very impressed. 2 more slots left. What could number 2 be? Well, it is another Barillon. 1981. This particular one was bottled April 7th, 2022. It took me a while to come around to this. Hold on, I need to make some room. Or rather, maybe it took some time for the oak to blow off. But once it had settled down, this became like the best sort of classically made spirit I had this year. Was the Hampden here, the Holmes K, better overall? And was this Mezante just as good? Yeah, but this one arrives fruity and spicy and a little bit sweet, although it's not dosed. And then it develops. It turns a little bit sour, and then it's got a long, dry, slightly herbaceous finish. It's a very classically built spirit. You could you would never mistake it for a Scotch or anything, but it has that same kind of vibe to it. And it wasn't expensive. Like this is in 1981. It's a 40-year-old Armagnac, and I think I paid, it wasn't far over $100. I mean, Barillon is a phenomenal value, and yeah, you should be paying attention to them. And if I can reach around, to get my number one. It's something I only have a sample bottle of, but I was well impressed with this. What is my number one spirit of the year? This stuff. Mano de Buey Vice from Colombia. I had a hard time figuring out the pricing on this, but so far as I can tell, this costs a full bottle of this costs about 20 bucks. It is single distilled in a what we call a Filipino style still, and it's phenomenal. It's one of the great cane spirits of the world, and it's so well made, and it's just so drinkable. So for the value and the quality and just the fact that this feels like, you know, Colombia in a sort of old Colombian spirit, sort of getting onto the scene, kind of making a landing. For all that, it gets my number one position. Yeah, that's all and that's my lineup. This is what, 20, 21 bottles? Surely you can find one of these to enjoy. All right, I guess I gotta get going to work. Thanks for watching this whole year, and especially if you're a Patreon. Thank you again. And yeah, I'll see you again next year. I don't know what I have planned, but I'll figure something out. Thanks for watching, and cheers.